You don't fall in love the way you think you do. You fall like someone who has been pushed by something inside you that remembers a pain older than your adult life. Imagine this moment. You meet someone, and for a second, nothing happens. But then, a spark, a tension, a pull. Your chest tightens, your attention sharpens. Your emotions wake up like a creature opening its eyes in the dark. And you mistake this activation for attraction, for connection, for destiny. But it's not destiny. It's memory. A memory your psychology has spent your whole life trying to resolve. You've been taught to believe a simple story. That love is a choice. But the truth is darker, deeper, and far more uncomfortable. You don't choose who you fall for. Your unconscious mind chooses for you. Love feels personal, but attraction is biological, psychological, behavioral, habitual. You are not falling for a person. You are falling for a pattern your mind recognizes faster than your rational thinking can react. Here is the truth no one told you. You fall for people who hurt you because they echo the emotional wound that shaped your identity. Your mind isn't seeking love. It's seeking resolution, completion, closure. And it will try to resolve that wound by recreating it. So when someone triggers your insecurity, your longing, your fear of abandonment, your attention locks on them. Your emotions follow. Your identity bends. You don't fall for someone because they feel good. You fall because they feel familiar. Familiar doesn't mean healthy. It means my mind knows how to suffer in this pattern. Your nervous system prefers predictable pain over unpredictable peace. Because pain you understand feels safer than safety you can't trust. This is not weakness. This is psychology. This is behavior. Every wound changes the way you pick people. It becomes a compass pointing toward what hurt you. Your wound tells you, go there. Fix this by repeating it. But the repetition doesn't heal you. It traps you. And the trap feels like destiny. People who hurt you don't give you stability. They give you contrast. The high becomes intoxicating. The low becomes unbearable. Your emotional system becomes addicted to both. Psychology calls this intermittent reinforcement. It's the strongest bonding mechanism ever discovered. You don't become attached to the person. You become attached to the cycle. You fall for people who hurt you because there is an empty space inside you, a space you've never fully learned to fill with your own identity. And anyone who walks in with a strong personality, with intensity, with emotional unpredictability, takes up that space instantly. They don't fill you, they replace you, and part of you mistakes this takeover for love, for chemistry, for connection. In psychology, your first emotional environment becomes your blueprint for love. If love felt unsafe, you will search for unsafe love. If love felt conditional, you will be attracted to people who make you earn their affection. If love felt distant, unstable, unpredictable, your nervous system will confuse instability with intensity. And suddenly, someone who hurts you feels like home. You don't fall for the person in front of you. You fall for the chance to rewrite a story that broke you. Your psychology believes, if I can make this painful person love me, then maybe the original wound wasn't my fault. But you're not fixing the past. You're repeating it, with higher emotional stakes and deeper consequences. You're fighting a battle that wasn't yours to win back then, and isn't yours to win now. When someone hurts you, they don't lose your attention, they dominate it. Your mind becomes obsessed with repairing the interruption, restoring the connection, proving your worth. In psychology, this is attentional capture. Your thinking becomes narrowed, your emotions amplified, your behavior reactive. They hurt you, and suddenly you're more attached than before. The human mind forms stronger bonds with what feels scarce, rare, inconsistent. Their affection becomes a prize. Their attention becomes oxygen. Their approval becomes survival. You don't want them. You want the feeling of being chosen by someone who rarely chooses you. This is not love. This is emotional hunger shaped by scarcity. And as all these mechanisms intertwine, the wound, the pattern, the identity vacuum, the attention trap, the scarcity loop, you feel something dark happening inside you. You lose yourself slowly, quietly, without even noticing. You bend your boundaries. You silence your needs. You betray your emotions. And the more they hurt you, the more afraid you become of losing them. There comes a moment, a small, quiet, almost invisible moment, when the pain becomes louder than the story you tell yourself. You wake up one day and realize you've been shrinking yourself, just to fit into someone else's inconsistency. You notice that everything you've tolerated has carved your emotional identity into someone you don't recognize. And for the first time, you ask yourself a dangerous question. Why am I holding on to someone who keeps letting go of me? A trauma bond is formed when the same person becomes the source of both your comfort and your fear. Your nervous system becomes dependent on the cycle. Hurt, calm, hurt, calm. The mind attaches not to the person, but to the emotional whiplash they create. This bond feels like love, but it is actually a neurological addiction disguised as destiny. People who hurt you often fill your mind with noise. Chaos, intensity, drama, longing, uncertainty. When they leave, the silence feels terrifying. Not peaceful, terrifying. Because in that silence, you finally hear the emotions you've been avoiding. Your loneliness, your insecurity, your unresolved wounds. So you return to the chaos, not because it's love, but because it's louder than your inner world. A part of you believes that if you love them hard enough, they'll become gentle, warm, consistent. You imagine that your loyalty will heal their coldness, that your patience will soften their sharpness, that your attention will stabilize their inconsistency. But this is not control. This is self-abandonment dressed as devotion. You don't just feel hurt. You feel ashamed of feeling hurt. Shame whispers, "You should have known better. You should be stronger. You shouldn't care this much." This shame doesn't break the bond. It deepens it, because now you're not just trying to hold on to them. You're trying to save yourself from feeling like a failure. At some point, you start losing parts of yourself you didn't even know you had. Your attention shrinks. Your habits distort. Your thinking becomes foggy. Your emotions become unpredictable. Your identity begins to dissolve into someone else's behavior. And the tragedy is this: the more you lose yourself, the more afraid you become of being alone. There comes a night when something tiny snaps inside you. Not with noise, but with silence. You sit with yourself. You realize how exhausted you are from loving someone who never chose you fully. And for the first time, you consider the possibility that walking away is not losing, but returning. There is a moment when the truth becomes unavoidable. A moment when you stop looking at them and start looking at yourself. You realize you weren't fighting for love. You were fighting for a feeling you lost long before they arrived. You weren't seeking them. You were seeking the version of you that you hoped would finally feel enough. And in that realization, something shifts in your psychology, your identity, your behavior. When you stop chasing the person who hurts you, you begin to hear someone else. Yourself. Your inner voice returns. Quiet at first, uncertain, almost fragile, but it's there. And it sounds nothing like the voice of the person who hurt you. It doesn't shame you. It doesn't compare you. It doesn't punish you. It says the thing you needed all along. You can come back now. Healing is not a sudden explosion. It's a slow return. A gradual rebuilding of the mind that once bent itself to survive. You start recognizing the red flags you used to romanticize. You start noticing the peace you used to reject. You start choosing people who don't excite your wounds, but respect your emotions. And slowly, your behavior changes. Your habits shift. Your attention stabilizes. Your identity strengthens. You finally understand something essential. Love was never supposed to feel like a fight. Love does not test you. Love does not endure you. Love does not make you beg. Love is calm. Love is steady. Love is safe. Anything else is not love. It's the wound pretending to be love. There is a version of you that does not chase pain, a version of you that does not confuse intensity with connection, a version of you that doesn't shrink, bend, collapse, or disappear just to be loved, a version of you that finally sees the difference between being chosen and being used. And that version of you, the one you thought you lost, is still here. Your psychology stops searching for chaos. Your emotions stop craving inconsistency. Your behavior stops repeating what broke you. You reclaim your attention, your energy, your self-respect, your identity. You realize the most powerful truth of all. You never needed to be chosen by someone who hurt you. You needed to choose yourself. You weren't falling in love. You were falling into a wound. And now, you rise out of it. You stop falling for those who hurt you. The moment you stop abandoning yourself,